Welcome to the Brady Marks podcast with your host Brady Yashia from Brady Marks Buyers Advisory. Enjoy discussions with a variety of guests and pioneers from diverse backgrounds, each sharing their unique perspectives on property, business, industry and more.
Welcome to the Brady Marks podcast. Today we're speaking with Eddie Piddington, a leading Northern Beaches real estate agent with 20 years experience. Known for his market expertise and strategic advice, Eddie consistently delivers record-breaking results. His innovative marketing and vast buyer network have earned him accolades like the 2024-2025 Premier Performer Award. Join us for a discussion on current trends, client service, and practical strategies for success in real estate. Welcome, Eddie.
Thanks, Brady. Great to be here. Appreciate it.
So good to be talking to you today.
Great.
I had the privilege of meeting you over 12 years ago when I first embarked on my journey as a buyer's agent.
Wow.
And there were things that stood out to me that I'll never forget.
Okay.
Firstly, your energy, your passion, and care for wanting to get a deal over the line.
Great.
And these things you always remember in the industry.
Yeah.
So for the audience out there that don't know much about you, can you give us a little bit of insight into your background in real estate and how you got to where you are today?
Yep, I'll try and do it without taking too much time. So it's interesting you just saying our passion to get a deal and obviously get the best price for the client. That started, which again, people won't know this, from when I was really young. Like my mum, I grew up just with my mum on her own, and to make money, we used to buy and flip properties. And it's interesting as like, I don't know how old I was, maybe 5 years old onwards, I'd always have this like vision of the agent. If they did a good job and got mum a good price, then I'd get like a new toy or something, like a new bike I wanted. I remember one time that happened. And then I wanted like this little electric car. And then the agent did well, we got that. So that's what's kind of been instilled in here. Like you said, like we sell a lot, but I do think we get really good prices for our clients. And I think that's still what's in my heart of doing it and why we actually do it, because we're changing people's lives from a financial point of view. So that's to answer that bit. Where have we been? It's a long time in the industry, you know, not much has changed. Like we're in early, we hustle hard every day. Vendor comes first. It's always about extracting the best price for the client, but also helping them get to their next steps in their lives as well. So as you said, putting a deal together.
And you had a lot of fun along the way.
Yeah, heaps of fun, heaps of stress. Yep, but all good. I love it. Yeah, it's good. Heaps of hustle.
The stress goes with the territory.
100%. Yeah, it does. Yep.
And we do remember things from our childhood that shape us later on in life.
Yep.
So has there been a defining moment in your career that has shaped you?
In what sense, I suppose? Like, how do you mean?
So has there been a professional moment that really stood out, or a change that you've made in your career? Could be early on, could be later on, that has made you think, wow, this has taken me to the next level?
I think like mentally, the big thing is probably, like a lot of people are trying to be real estate agents to be a real estate agent or get to the next goal without having this huge why. I talk about this like it's a great job, but it's a difficult job and there's plenty of money to be made. But I think that the fundamental that each person needs to have is like, what's their actual why? And this is more of like, I think, a burner and a deeper level of, you know, is it trying to help families? Is it trying to do this? Is it trying to going really deep on it and actually why you do the job? Because that will then bring out basically pushing harder. The hardest thing is like, it's like the gym. I talk to my boys, like you can either not go to the gym at all. It's like prospecting and you get a certain result. You can go to the gym 6 days a week and stuff around and you'll still get a certain result. So it's like us with our prospecting and that every single call you make, you can be sitting there doing the calls, but without having this fundamental why I'm actually making the call and what I want to get out of it. That's where I think it can switch. You're asking about this switch bit. So I think it was really me sitting down with myself and working out the why. And then for whatever reason, what's coming to mind is a coach said to me once, it's really interesting in an office where this person can be sitting here on the chair and with this phone and in this office and in this market and in this area, and the guy sitting over here on the chair 6 meters away, same market, same energy, or not same energy, probably different energy, but same market, same area, same brand, and he makes X and this guy makes triple. Why is that? So it was a cool way to be like, the only excuse is us. You know, you can say, oh, the market's hard. Oh, my market's area, the vendors are difficult. The economy's bad. No. The guy here makes like 5 times what you make. So he's fine. So that was another bit, I think, I don't know. You're just asking the question out of the blue. That's what's coming to mind.
But that's good. And, what you put in, you get out.
100%.
A lot of people think you can get into real estate and just overnight you have success. But there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, a lot of effort and energy.
Yeah.
Long hours.
Yeah.
So is there another lesson that you learned earlier on that still guides you?
What do they say? It's not the hours you put in, it's what you put into the hours. So that's still a pretty big one. Like I remember at one point I was doing like 7 days a week, but I think I was less productive because I was more burnt out. So now like we scale back, not so much like how much we're in the office or how many hours we're in the office. What are we actually doing in the office? I remember like my wife, Jess, who works with us, she was like, gosh, I remember like, when you're in the office, it's really hard to actually talk to you. You won't like talk to anyone. And I'm like, yeah, like I'm here on a mission. Like that's why I'm here. And it was like a real standout point where other people are giggling and chatting and all of this. And we're just in and we're on our mission doing the work. So, not so much working longer or harder effectively, but maybe working more efficiently, which I think in real estate, again, it's like going to the gym. I went seven times this week. Well, what did you do there? Oh, just my stuff. And it's like in an office, you could be in there 6 days a week or 12 hours a day. But if you're not doing the stuff that counts, well, the return's not going to be there.
Yeah.
So maybe more about not working harder or longer, but working more efficiently.
That's very good advice, particularly to younger people trying to get into the industry, being focused.
Yeah.
That's what it
Being
is.
really focused, watching burnout. I got 2 of my young boys and one of them's burnt out at the moment. And we were talking about yesterday. I was like, man, you need to work less. Like you need to have more time out. And he's saying, no, I want to go next level. I want to step up. I'm like, yeah, that's why you need to do less. And that's like a big shift mentally for them to know like if they rest and recharge and that. Like you say, oh, you got big energy. Yeah, but that's only because when I'm here, I'm effing here and I've done all the stuff in the background to make me here and energetic, but then I'm resting when I need to rest as well.
Yeah, it's about balance.
Yeah, massive
I know it's
balance.
hard to get balance in this industry, but you still need to have that. Mm-hmm. So if you could go back and give your younger self some career advice,
Yeah.
looking back, what would you give yourself?
It's a really good question. Like it's worked out okay, like it's, I think the big thing for younger people and like I tell myself like it's going to work. I said to Lachlan yesterday, my guy, we had a big meeting yesterday and it's like in real estate because he, we were comparing to some of his younger friends at uni and doing other things. I'm like, mate, this is still like your university degree, like he's not making huge money in that yet, but he will. And it was like we were talking about, imagine if someone came to you saying like, I've got a plan here in an envelope and it's a 10-year plan, but I can almost guarantee and assure you in 10 years you'll make $3 million a year. You interested in that or not really? And it's like, it's kind of true. Like we have that, we have the recipe and like other agents can do 10 times more than that. It's ridiculous. But there's a pretty clear plan now and system in place in our industry where if you follow it, that's kind of the outcome you probably get. Some people will do it in 2 years, but like as a safe scenario. So I think my younger self, it'd be just reminding myself like it'll work. I think a lot of young guys can get burnt out and quit the industry quick because it's tough. And your income's like this. And the first part of sales is probably the worst part. It's like lots of prospecting, you're not getting in front of people, maybe having as much fun. A lot of people can be glued to the phone, just calling, and they're still not getting paid big money. To the average younger person or one that's just stepped in and be like, oh, screw this, what's the point? But it's really having that mentality of that it's a long game, not a short game, and that your trajectory like a rocket, like there's nothing, and then it should take off if they're doing the right things. That would be my only reminder.
That is gold.
Good. Thanks.
And I remember when I first started in the industry, first year was a big shock coming from the corporate world into the real estate arena.
Yeah.
It was like, oh my goodness. But for 2 years, you just got to go through it. You've got to go through the motions. As hard as it is, it's worth it in the end.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
What's a common mistake you see a lot of professionals in your field making at the moment?
As in from a selling agent, buyer agent, anyone?
Selling agent.
I I mean, there's so many different facets to it. It's like if you're talking about how to win the listing, there's mistakes, I think, that I see. If there's selling a property, there's mistakes there. I think at the moment, like there's not a lot, like it's hard to sell now. The market's, it's okay is probably the best word. Most deals we're doing, and we've done a fair few already this year, it's really coming down to like one buyer.
Yeah.
So it's been able to actually transact and put that deal together. And maybe as a mistake, I mean, I don't know, because a lot of my competitors aren't selling much. One of my closest is a lot behind where we are. I don't know what they're doing as a mistake. It could be potentially trying to save the vendor, trying to push for too much, trying to be the hero versus like we never push our clients. You read all our testimonials, like Eddie never pushed us or anything like that. But we're just giving people options. It's not always good news. It's like Brady, if you want to sell it today, this is kind of the number. Or we've got to look at plan B of maybe staying put 3-5 years, this, and this. And at least giving them options versus potentially, I don't know what they're doing, but I don't know what the mistakes are really.
Well, I mean, there's a lot that you've just said. So it's giving them options and being transparent.
Yeah, 100%. And not being a hero.
Yes.
Sometimes we're going to get this, we'll keep trying. Well, 3 months later, they got nothing. They don't want that either.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
I want to see results.
Yeah, 100%.
It's a very emotional time for vendors.
Yeah, massively.
Yeah, and we go on the roller coaster.
Yeah, I can jump on that roller coaster all day. It's good.
And if you could change one thing in the industry, what would it be?
Maybe the cost of realestate.com. Nah, I don't know. Nothing. I don't know. Like, what would we change? I don't know. Nothing. It is what it is. Like it's a tough hustle, but it's like it's good. It's not for everyone. It's a hard working game. I don't know. I think it's a good business. Potentially, they could regulate the commission rates. Sometimes we'll go in and we've done everything right, and then a funny agent or a dodgy agent can go in really, really low and then rustle the whole thing up against me and all the other agents. So that could be a good thing. But no, I don't think much needs changing.
Fair enough.
It's good. It's nice.
So
what do you think?
What do I think? I think the barrier to entry is too easy.
Yeah, definitely. I pick up that more in buyer agents than selling agents, but
yes.
And I don't know what buyer agents have to do to get in, but it almost seems like every open home there's someone new popping up saying, "Oh, I'm a buyer agent now, and I'm just looking at this," and then I might not hear from them ever again. So I don't know what your entry is, but I feel like that's not.
So essentially you need a real estate license.
Oh, you do?
Yes, you do need to be fully licensed. However, I think there are some loopholes and that's what's happening. And a lot of people that have got no real estate experience are becoming buyer's agents. The best buyer's agents are ones that were selling agents prior or even in property management.
Yes.
Because then you have an understanding of the industry.
100%. Yeah, I picked this up at the moment.
Yeah.
So I'm with you on that.
So talking about buyers now, I work with buyers all the time.
Yeah,
I see
sure.
lots of different types of buyers.
Of course.
What do you think buyers' expectations are in today's market? Because their mindset's changed a lot from 10 years ago.
Yeah. When you say expectations around pricing the property or the service levels, how do you mean? Like what's their expectations?
I think around pricing.
Yeah, pricing's still a really interesting one. Like people come through, what's the guide or the guide's $1 million? Yeah, but what do they really want? That's like a really interesting one. So we, as agents, we're like, firstly, if you look on all of our properties right now, I think we have 9 on. Every single property's got a guide, which I think's good.
I think it's excellent.
Still, a lot of my competitors are hiding the guide, which I don't think is a great thing. So firstly, giving the buyer information. I always think it's interesting comparing our industry to like the high-level car industry. As an example, like Ferrari, Porsche, all these high-level cars, if you want to buy it, it's not hard to buy it. Like we make it really hard. Someone wants to buy a car for $800,000. It's crazy, but you ring the dealer. What's the price? How do I buy it? That's it. Do you want it or not? It's really simple. And then agents, what's the guide? Oh, what's the price? The buyer will say, oh, the guide's this. The feedback's been around this. What will they take? Oh, we're not sure. We've got to get this. It's like they're making it difficult to do deals. So I think the buyers want information and want to make it easy, which we really try to. Like we'll have a guide on everything. So if they're below that, no point coming type thing. There's the price guide. Eddie, what's the guide? Guide's $1 million. Yeah, but what will they take? We've got 1-to-1 one on the agency. It's probably somewhere towards the top end. They'll sell it today. See, like it's really simple, but I don't think anyone's doing that. And buyers react when we do that. Like, oh, really? Yeah. Like what's the point of making it difficult? So I don't know if that's something I think they're wanting and maybe other agents aren't getting it. I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of mixed messages across the board in different areas
Yeah.
in terms of pricing.
Mm.
And it does make it harder for a buyer, particularly one that's entering for the first time
Yeah.
that has no idea. So
Yeah.
that's a good message to put out there to sales agents to be more clear on your guides.
Yeah, I think so. And give comparables. Like we'll always have at least one. You know, our guide's $1 million. Last one in the block sold for $1,080,000. This one should be similar. Cool. Like it's we're trying to
easy.
simplify it, I think, make it easier for the consumer.
That's right. That's good. So no one has a crystal ball.
No.
But I'm sure the listeners out there would love to hear your insights on what you think the Sydney property market is going to be in 2025.
This year. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what year we're in. I don't know. I don't see no change. I'm looking at buying again now, and I feel like I'm like every buyer, like I'm sitting on the fence. Like there's some great property out there. I'm like, I don't know. Like me mentally, I'm too scared to buy prior. My whole old way was like, if I like the place, 66W contract, I'll bring it to the open home and try and get it done. Now I'm like, oh no, I want to go to an auction, look around, watch every other buyer, if there's anyone there, and then read the room and buy it at fair market value. Because I think even as an agent and a consumer in Australia, I don't have confidence on pricing and where the future of the market is. So I don't know. I don't see any drastic changes. It's interesting with this rate cut this week. We ran our first lot of opens, and I think we had 8 or 9. And there was no change. Like they're just similar to they were. I really thought that might put a bit of almost false energy, I call it. I think dropping the rates 0.25% is not going to change people's lives. But I thought the word will get out. There'll be a bit of positivity. Rates are on the way down. Let's get in. Didn't seem any different.
And in terms of stock levels, do you think we'll see more stock this year?
Well, it hasn't shown so far. We came back and we launched a lot and we sold a lot, and now they're just trickling on, which is like last year. I feel like for the last 3 years we've been saying, oh, spring's coming, there's going to be good stock levels, and no spring ever comes. January, February, nothing really comes. And I don't know what's driving that. I mean, it's a, you know, like as less stock comes on, less people will sell because they don't have much to choose from. So it's like I don't know how you get it back up. While it's low, the average buyer can't see much online, and then they're all cautious. They keep saying, oh, we're not going to sell till we find something we actually like. That holds them back. So no, I think it'll be the same. I think if there hasn't been a rush of stock due to the interest rates pressuring people, which there just hasn't, everyone probably thought there would be.
Yes.
Well, now they're starting to drop, and then it probably is not going to happen.
Yeah, watch this space.
What do you think?
So I think it's going to be a solid market.
What's solid mean?
Solid means that I don't see prices dropping dramatically, and I don't see prices going up extremely higher than where they are. But again, it's going to come down to what market you're looking in and what type of property you're looking to buy.
That's
So
a
there's
really
lots
good
of micro
answer.
markets, but I think it's going to be a stable year, and everybody's journey is different.
Yeah.
So you really need to run your own race.
Yeah.
And if you're in the market to buy, do your research, go out, and the opportunities will be there. I agree with you. I don't think there's going to be an abundance of stock. I think there's going to be a steady flow of it. So overall, I don't think it's going to be a bad year in real estate.
No, I agree. I think going deeper on what you said, which I didn't, but it's absolutely right. It's a different market. It's like right now we've got stuff listed everywhere from 800,000 up to about 4 million. Not crazy, but quite a wide price range. And the lower end stock seems the more difficult. So I think that you analyse the buyer market for that's either investors, and they're still on the fence a little bit because the rates are higher than what they're used to. And then the secondary market's the first home buyers. Again, they're a bit cautious. It's costing them more to borrow money, so it all adds up. So that market's tougher. But all our freestanding stock, you know, like the freestanding houses, 3 million plus, that seems to be pretty strong, but mostly driven to the lack of stock.
Correct.
Yeah, so I suppose in answering your question, it's hard to say this or that. I think it's micro and area and in inner and outer markets.
Yes. So there's not one specific answer.
No. Yeah, cut a long story short. No,
So if you're looking to sell, get the right agent.
definitely get the right agent. If you're looking to buy, you need to have a good buyer agent, right?
Absolutely.
That's important. It is.
So is there an area or a suburb that you think is underrated for buyers?
It's interesting, like historically Manly always was when you compare it to eastern suburbs and areas like that, and it has come up over the years. So Manly still seems relatively good value to places like the East, Bondi and areas like that, which offer similar things for buyers. If you look in Manly and then the surrounds areas like Manly Vale seem pretty good. It's one of the closest suburbs to actually Manly.
Yes.
It's a level walk and it's close and it's a lot significantly less. So I think they're kind of still really good. Again, depending on what the property is.
Yeah.
There's other areas near us that have lots and lots of units, which I think wouldn't be great to invest in because it's overpopulated there. But yeah, they're two goodies, I reckon.
Good advice.
Hopefully.
So, Eddie, you have an amazing team.
Yeah, the best.
What's the key to growing a high-performing team?
It's a good question. Like, we feel blessed at the moment. My team's phenomenal. Like, we're one of the healthiest teams. None of us drink, so like we're really on at the moment. I think everyone else, it's hard to have that level of commitment, especially from young guys. My boys are younger than me. I remember when I was that age, it was quite the opposite. So how do you do it? I don't know. Like, we're really trying to lead from the top, like as their mentor or helper, whatever you call me, we're leading by example, looking after them. We're all close. Like, we're obviously colleagues and have mutual respect for each other.
Yeah.
But, like, we're all got each other's back, as like friends and stuff like that. But yeah, it's amazing. Like, it's fun. If I didn't have them, it'd be very difficult.
So when a team comes together, you can really perform.
Yeah, crazy. Like, we used to have this funny calculation, like 1 + 1 = 5, in the way of team members.
Yes.
Almost, if they're the right ones. I've
Yeah.
been through not heaps, but we've had a few over our years, and it's amazing the difference of good and not good.
Yes.
But the biggest parts, that I find important is just mindset, energy. That's it. They don't have to come in. Like, some of the guys that have worked with us might have had huge experience and they've not been great. These young guys that are hungry, they're sometimes green when they start with me, but they're open to learning, they're listening, and they kind of groom exactly how we want them, and it's much better. So yeah, but it's all energy. If anyone's negative or down, they're gone.
Yeah. Energy plays a huge part in
Huge,
our job.
absolutely, the biggest.
Yeah.
And it's hard carrying them. If you got someone negative in the team, the whole team goes down. You're trying to pick them up before you even do something. It's very difficult.
It is. So we know that real estate has lots of ups and downs.
Yep.
And not every day can be an up day.
Uh-huh.
How do you manage challenges or setbacks?
I think like it's interesting. There's a quote one day and it says, life's not about what happens to you, it's how you react that matters. So I've always remembered that in like all facets of life, personal, business, and it's definitely in our game for sure. Like, we get smashed around all day, I think, every day.
Yes.
Most of them are tough, and it's like how you break through it. And I think it's just remembering the why. This is coming back to, as I said, like, what's the why? Why am I here doing what I'm doing? What am I trying to achieve? And it's just that, you've got to be quick and you've got to be resilient and tough. Is it tough or thick skin, they say?
Thick skin, definitely.
Yeah, really, really thick skin. And just know, like, sometimes it's them, not you. Sometimes I hear the boys prospecting and someone will abuse them. And I'm like, why would you do that, man? Like, it's a kid trying to help. And we're only trying to help people and someone will be rude. So it's just a reminder, like, that's them, not you. We're just trying to do the right thing. Next, let's get on to the next one. So I think that's all you can do. Trying to keep positive, trying to keep super healthy. The exercise, the getting up early, mental training as well as physical training. That's what'll bounce through it. If you're doing other things that don't help you, then you're just digging yourself into a hole, I think.
That's right. So we talk about energy and having the right mindset. Are you spiritual at all?
I don't know, like maybe. I don't really know the answer. I feel like, for sure, I don't know how I describe it, but like I feel... there's an energy out there. Like I believe in things like karma, if that's spiritual, like you do the right thing by people, things come back. Lachlan and I were chatting yesterday and it's interesting, like from a prospecting point of view, you can be like doing calls in this area and none of these people will sell, but because you're doing the work, then you get random calls of people wanting you to help them and help sell their place.
Yes.
And I said to him yesterday, I was like, man, if you do the work, like God will like gift you. I don't know if that's spiritual or which God or who it actually is, but I feel like it's right. And I feel like heavily into karma, like we always do the right thing by people, then we get rewarded and it's like, well, we're doing the right thing, So yeah, that's about as far as I understand with spiritual. I don't know much more, but that's what I think.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like it.
Oh, good. What do you think?
Yes, I do think, and I often say what's meant to be is meant to be.
Yeah, I
As
say
a
that.
buyer's agent, we can be working with a client and they absolutely love a property, but if it's not going their way or a building report comes back and says that there's a lot of issues and they're devastated that they're missing out on the property, I always say if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be.
Yep.
The right one will be there. And it's amazing.
And it always is.
That's right.
Yeah,
when
I
you
agree.
find the right one, how easy it is. And they say to me, yeah, you were right.
Yeah. No, that's it. That's the same. Similar. I often say that to a buyer. Like, don't worry, it's not meant to be. Everything happens for a reason. If they miss out, and then we'll get them something else. And it's true. So something will come on next week, and it always does.
Yes.
So yeah, that's my spiritual side.
I love it. Everything happens for a reason and for the best.
Yeah, 100%. Yep.
As you're a very successful agent, can you tell us about a risk that you took that paid off?
I think changing agencies was high risk. Sorry. We just left an agency that was for a fair while number one in an area. So there's definitely high risk with that into a new brand that wasn't known in our area. But known to people, Ray White. I mean, everyone knows the brand. It's a household name, and there was some risk involved in that. But yeah, it's funny. Like you take these risks. It's the best thing we ever did, And that had some risk involved. But yeah, I think that was one. What else is there? Maybe when I went out on my own years and years ago, that was pretty high risk and things, and just backed myself to do it. They're probably the riskier ones I can think of.
They're very big risks.
Yeah.
But you've got to get uncomfortable to get comfortable.
Absolutely. Amen to that. Yep, agree.
So success means different things to different people. How would you measure success both personally and professionally?
Personally, I don't know. Like I say to people, like every morning you get up and you look in the mirror and you know if you're like on track or off track with life, I think. You can look at yourself and think, have I trained? Am I doing the right thing by people? Have I slept well, eat well? Looking after my health. So I don't have an exact definition of what it is personally or professionally. Professionally is like setting our goals, making sure we're on track by that, but always doing the right thing by people. Like our industry's tainted with bad stuff. I hear bad stories every day of other agents and that. Like it's effing crazy stuff you hear. You hear it all the time. So yeah, that mirror thing's a bit for us. Like you're looking at, am I doing everything right by people every day? That's really the thing of knowing on track or off track. And then obviously it's numbers driven. You should have your goals and check in each day. Are we on track? Are we off track with the goals? We set weekly goals with our team. We've got quarterly goals, annual goals. There's heaps, all numbers driven. And the numbers don't lie.
No, they don't.
That's it. There's no way around it or anything like that.
Exactly. So routine and discipline are essential to being an agent at the top of their game like yourself. What is one non-negotiable for you every day?
Just getting up early and doing something. So like this morning, my training is just getting up and going for a walk. It's not crazy. I'm not smashing the gym and that. I go to the gym, but today wasn't anything crazy. I sit down, have a coffee in the sun, think, get my head right for the day. So not always ridiculous, but I would never, ever be able to get up and drive to the office and start working. Then I'd just be like, I'd get in 20 minutes earlier, but then I'd be rubbish all day.
Yeah.
So that the non-negotiables, getting up early and just having like a morning ritual and routine. I used to meditate heaps and I haven't lately, probably should, but I haven't done much of that lately. But no, it's just every morning, even on Sundays and that, same thing. Get up, do something that's good for the body and mind.
So setting yourself up for the day.
100%, yeah, but it doesn't have to be over the top either.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be like getting 4 a.m. and this. I think if you overcomplicate it or overpush yourself, you can do it and then stop doing it. Oh, it's all too hard.
Yes.
Because it's full on, yeah.
So if you weren't in real estate, what other career would you choose?
Well, I was a DJ when I was 18 and sometimes I look at like Fisher and Black Coffee and these guys and think maybe I should have stuck to that and see where I ended up. I might not have made it. Don't know. Probably something entrepreneurial, something like helping. Like I reckon I could train and help people. My dad did that years and years ago with a sales team. So maybe mentor and help people to get better. Like that's probably my most enjoyable part of the job, seeing my boys succeed more than us. If I win a listing, like it's good, but when I see them win a listing and I didn't have a lot of input in it and they've got it, they've found it, they've gone and got it and they've brought it back, that's like awesome. That's what drives me now.
Yes.
That's like such a good feeling and then they'll sell it. So that's my main big driver. So I think then instilling, if I think into my brain what excites me and makes me happy, it would be then trying to help other people do well, probably through training.
Yeah. That is such an important thing, being a leader, to take yourself out of it and see your team members succeeding.
Yeah, it's the best.
It's brilliant. I've got the same philosophy. I love it.
Yeah. It's a big difference. They're like my kids. If they do something good and they're succeeding, it's good for everyone. Yeah, it's awesome.
It is good. So if you could buy a property anywhere in the world, money is no object, where would it be and why?
Probably Cap Ferrat in the south of France. Because they're all like reckon $500 million. And if I had unlimited money, it's probably there. It's a good place. Don't know. That's probably it. If it's in Australia, it'd be in the eastern suburbs, maybe Point Piper, Vaucluse, again, because they're the best houses in the country. Yeah. If I was limited by budget, then it'd be Manly, Bower Street. I'd probably buy multiple. Only because you asked me if budget was nothing. So there's one in the south of France, one in Paris, one in Manly on Bower Street, one or two in the eastern suburbs. That's probably it. One for mum in the eastern suburbs because she likes it there.
All amazing spots.
Yeah. Where would you?
I would buy one in Marbella in Spain because I love Spain. Marbella is one of the best places I've ever been to.
Best, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. We all know. Just need some more money.
So it's been an absolute privilege having you here today.
Same. Thank you.
If the audience or the listeners want to get in touch with you, what is the best way of them reaching out to you?
Probably just call or text. Always here to help. We do lots of things we can ever help or give back, whatever I can do. Ring me for sure. Love to have a coffee.
Fantastic. Thank you so much
Thanks,
for joining
Brady.
me.
Thanks so much. Thanks, guys.